It's 11 trivia questions on John Hughes movies and beer, recorded live at Highpoint Brewing in San Dimas, California. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be? And welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. Thanks for checking out this show, especially if you found this show from listening to Pod Quiz. Welcome all the Pod Quiz bandwagon listeners. So glad you guys are here. I love James and that show and have been listening to it for quite a number of years. So if you are stumbling onto my show because you listen to Pod Quiz, thank you so much for checking it out. My show comes out every day, and I try and do a little pop culture trivia in your ears daily. So sometimes I record conversations I have, like this one with my friend Chad Phillips at Highpoint Brewing in San Dimas, California, and we talked about John Hughes movies and beer. Sometimes I sit down and I just read you questions from old slideshows that I have from live trivia nights. Sometimes I record live trivia nights where you can hear the players cheering and stuff like that. And sometimes I'm just like on the phone with a buddy of mine. So be on the lookout for all different types of episodes. And if you ever want to shape this show, you can go to patreon.com/trivia with buds and donate $5 or more to pick a topic that I do monthly. That's right. Every month you get to pick a new topic that you want me to ask you some trivia questions on. And here are some topics coming up from some loyal listeners of this show. We have Anne Rice novels, X-Files. We have Seven Wonders of the World. We have obscure sports, Batman villains, 80s TV shows, superhero alter egos, alien races from Futurama, Schwarzenegger versus Stallone, Grease 2, famous cars from movies, American Girl doll, Scrubs, Little Shop of Horrors, The Good Place, Dylan McKay, and Orange is the New Black, just to name a few. There's about 32 patrons of this show, and again, you can find out all about that at patreon.com/trivia with buds. We are going to jump into today's episode. Again, recorded in a quick conversation at a place where I host bingo in San Dimas, California, where Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure takes place, part of it. And they have a big mural up that says "Be excellent to each other," which is very cool. I love that at this place. And you can play bingo with me there every single Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. And the bingo's pop culture bingo. So it's not just numbers. We do numbers, but we also switch it up. We do music bingo where I play songs and you mark off the songs as you hear them. We do picture bingo. So I might be like, here's a bunch of 80s movies screenshots, and you'll mark off the movies as you see them. And we give away a bunch of cool beer-related prizes and pop culture stuff. So if you ever find yourself in that way, out that way on a Sunday, come check it out. And you can see all my live trivia nights at triviawithbuds.com. All right, let's dive into 11 quick questions with Chad and his wife at Highpoint Brewing in San Dimas, California on John Hughes movies and beer. Here we go. Standing here in beautiful San Dimas, California with my friend Chad Phillips at Highpoint Brewing. How's it going, Chad?
Doing good.
We just got done hosting some bingo. How did today go?
Bingo was awesome. Always fun.
Always a good time. We did some music bingo. We did some number bingo. We did some picture bingo. What's your favorite kind of bingo?
Oh, I like traditional, regular old bingo.
Traditional. Chad, by the way, is 86 years old, right? Is that right?
That's right.
I think you and me are close to the same age, and you're here with your beautiful wife, who you put to work today. She's doing a lot of stocking of glasses and things back there. How's that going? It's going good. And how long have you guys been open here in San Dimas?
It's been a little over 5 months now.
Wow, 5 months. I thought it was closer to a year, but so I kind of got to know you guys probably 2 or 3 months ago, and that was like brand new. You guys had just opened the doors.
Right, exactly.
Very cool. You're here on Arrow Highway in San Dimas, California. What do you think makes your brewery unique amongst all the other breweries popping up around Southern California?
One, it's nice being the first one in San Dimas, but two, we've got a fun environment. We have fun events like bingo, but also good catering trucks. Our beer is really, really flavorful, traditional style beer, and I think that's really what separates us.
That's awesome. One of my favorite things is when you walk in, there's this board, and from left to right, you can see the lighter beers to the darker beers. So I'm more of a light beer kind of guy, and I know to look towards the left side of this board. But if you like something darker, like some of these ones you got here, you got some great names for these. I'm going to just point some out. The Nitro House Drip, that's a nitro porter with Railside Cafe Coffee, which is a place right here in San Dimas, right? Railside?
A lot of local shops, small business.
Very cool. And then you got the Pudding Stone Porter right below that, the Imperial Dropout, and the Nitro Imperial Dropout. And more towards the beers that I enjoy myself, because I could have more than like 2 before I pass out, is 2 Fine Blondes, 2 Bitter Blondes, Magnum IPA, the Die Job, the Good Kitty, and the Nice Day IPA. Tell me about this one. This is fun. The Jitter Juice. What's that?
So Jitter Juice is a double IPA, sits at about 9%, has a little bit of lactose, milk sugar in there, and then we age it on 4 pounds of espresso beans and 4 pounds of cocoa nibs.
Oh my God. What is a cocoa nib?
It's basically where cocoa comes from, so it gives it that good chocolate flavor, kind of like mocha in the morning. It's a good way to, I won't say start your day with beer, but if you come in the afternoon and want a good beer to sip on, it's a good one to start with.
I love it. And Cocoa Nibs, one of my favorite strippers at the Tropical Lay in Upland, California. We're going to jump into some trivia. This is John Hughes and beer-related trivia. So I'm going to ask you questions about John Hughes movies and beer-related things. You're probably a John Hughes fan. We're about the same age, right?
Not as much as you'd think.
Oh, okay.
I'm here for that one.
Oh, boy. Here we go. This is going to be the first question. Number 1, what John Hughes movie starred Anthony Michael Hall, Kelly LeBrock, and Bill Paxton?
Oh, I have no idea.
We're talking 80s movies, a lot of teenage movies for John Hughes, stuff like The Breakfast Club, although this one's not The Breakfast Club. Any other guesses there?
No idea. She would know. She's the John Hughes fan.
You know this one, my dear? What John Hughes movie starred Anthony Michael Hall, Kelly LeBrock, and Bill Paxton?
I'm so bad at these.
Weird Science was the answer. Weird Science.
I just watched that the other day.
There you go. They put that Barbie doll down, turn it into a girl. Here's number 2. Where did Pabst win its famous blue ribbon in 1893? Where do you think that was at? I believe I'm looking for the state. Let me check. Actually, no. Looking for the type of event that this was at. Where do you think it was?
County Fair.
I'm going to give it to you. It's the World's Fair, but a fair in general was good enough for me. Pabst Blue Ribbon won its blue ribbon at the 1893 World's Fair. Number 3, in what state are most of John Hughes' movies set? I'll give you a hint. It's the state I'm from.
I don't know how to do the next one, sorry.
That's okay. Oh, I know this one too.
Most John Hughes movies. Not East Coast.
Oh, not East Coast. I'm way off then.
Illinois. Shermer, Illinois. A lot of his movies are set there. Number 4, there are 19 different versions of what famous dark beer brand? 19 different versions of what famous dark beer brand?
Style.
What's that?
Brand or style?
I would say that the brand is the same, the company's the same, different styles.
Okay. Stout.
Yes. Okay, so now I need the other thing. What did you say?
Guinness?
It is Guinness. That's what I was looking there. So I worded that awkwardly to a guy who makes beer who just corrected me. Nice job, Chad. Number 5, what's the nickname the Bandits give themselves in the first Home Alone movie? You've seen Home Alone?
Bandits.
Yes, that's right. The Wet Bandits. They turn those sinks on and leave them running. Number 6, what beer's slogan is the coldest tasting beer in the world?
Oh, that sounds like every liquor store I've ever seen.
That's true.
Oh.
Looking for the beer that says...
I'm going to go with Natural Light.
It is Coors Light or Coors. Coors in general with the water from the Rockies. Number 7, who plays the dad in the movie Mr. Mom? Who's the star of that movie?
I can picture him right now. Big guy.
He's kind of a tall guy. He's holding kids on the cover, and he has to play the mom in this movie. It's Michael Keaton, Batman himself, Michael Keaton. Number 8, beer is the second most popular beverage in the world, right behind what? Hint, it's not water.
Tea?
It is tea because of the huge Asian population who drinks tea every day. Number 9, Hughes wrote the screenplay for what comic strip character for the big screen in 1993. John Hughes wrote the screenplay for what classic comic strip character for the big screen in 93. What do you think?
I'm just going to totally guess and say The Mask.
Dennis the Menace. But The Mask, that was a pretty good guess. That was also a comic.
About that time.
Yeah, and that was a comic before it was a movie, I believe. Number 10, what country has the most individual beer brands? What country do you think that is?
Now it's got to be the U.S.
That may be true. When I wrote this round, this is from 2017, it was Belgium.
Okay.
So it's either Belgium or the U.S., I imagine.
That makes sense.
And for 2 points, this is a really tough one. Maybe you know this. What's the principal's last name in the Breakfast Club, the mean principal? Any guesses?
No, I don't know.
I hadn't seen The Breakfast Club until she made me watch it.
Oh, boy. That's a good wife. It's Vernon. Vernon. They hate Vernon. He goes to the bathroom, gets the thing stuck to his pants. That was John Hughes and beer questions. I think you got more than half of those right, and most of them probably the beer-related question. Good job, Chad. Anything coming up here at Highpoint that you want to plug or talk about?
Oh, what events do we have coming up? Every Sunday we got bingo, which is always fun. Cinco de Mayo, yeah, barbecue coming in for May the 4th. They're going to do some Star Wars-themed barbecue. We got some fun. We just started a barrel-aged program. We got some fun barrel-aged beers coming up.
Very cool. And there's a big dog event coming up where people can bring their dogs and you do like a big dog walk and you drink beers, something like that?
Yes, rooted dog training. I'm not exactly sure when the next one is, but it's always fun. And yeah, they have a good time. There's a walk and training usually twice a month.
Very cool. Highpoint, one of the best places to have a beer in all of Southern California, especially if you find yourself in San Dimas. Thanks, Chad.
Yep, thank you.
There it was, a fun chat with Chad and the missus. They brew some of the best beer I've ever had, and they have this very low alcohol beer called River Water, and it's like what you would refer to as river beer, kind of like a light yellow colored beer, but it is very tasty. And as I get older, I can only drink like mostly light beers. If I have like 3 Hefeweizens or, 3 stouts or anything that's a little bit darker than something that's super light, I feel like I get drunk way too quick, and then I'm aching the next day. But hey, that's your 30s, right? Beer and John Hughes movies. He kicked butt on the beer. Not so much the John Hughes movies, but maybe you did. Maybe you were playing along and you're like, oh man, I know that principal's name, and I know where all the John Hughes movies take place. And if you want to be on the show, I'd love to have you on. If you're a brand new listener or if you're a longtime listener, just send me an email, ryanbuds@gmail.com. We could do a Skype call. We could do an in-person thing if you're local. Just let me know what you want to do, what you want to promote to the audience of this show, and we will make it happen. All right, guys, if you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/triviawithbuds. Check out all the cool rewards over there. Getting ready to mail those out in the next couple days for the month of May. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling a friend, and we'll see you tomorrow for more Trivia with Buds. Cheers.